Yes, we are treating laws of indices. We have seen law 1, which is multiplication of indices. We saw law 2, which is dividing indices. So if you have not seen this lesson, go to my previous video. You see the lesson law 1 and law 2. But today we'll be looking into indices, laws of indices, law 3. Laws of indices, law 3, bracket with indices. Brackets with indices. How do we deal with indices that has brackets? When there is a power outside the bracket, multiply the power. When there is a power outside the brackets, multiply the power. Multiply the power. For example, a raised to the power n bracket n. This is the power outside the bracket. It's going to multiply the power in case there is no coefficient. So everything remains the same. So what we are having here is a n multiplied by n. So the power outside the bracket multiply everything inside the bracket. So our answer becomes a n n. Okay. So single number basis. Let's start from there. Let's start with single number basis. Single number basis. Before moving to the bracket expression. Example of single number basis, we have 5 raised to power bracket 5 raised to power 3, then raised to power 2. Laws: multiply the power outside the bracket, multiply everything inside the bracket. Is that okay? So what do we do? This is 5 raised to power 3 multiplied by 5 raised to power 3, which is, because the power is 2. So raised to power 3, 5 raised to power 3, 5 raised to power 3. So apply the first law, which is multiplication law. 5, 3 plus 3. We have 5 raised to power 6. Okay. We'll see more example on that. Number 2. 7 raised to power 2 bracket power 4. So we are having something like this. The same thing, raise the 10 inside the bracket by the power outside the bracket. Raise the 10 inside the bracket by the power outside the bracket. So this is 7 on a single base. 7 raised to power 2 multiplied by 7 raised to power 2 multiplied by 7 raised to power 2 multiplied by 7 raised to power 2. 4 times. Because the power is 4. So we have 7 power 2 using multiplication of indices. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. We have 7 raised to power 8. So in a simpler form, in case you want to go through this process, just say 4 times 2, 7 raised to power 2 multiplied by 4, give us 7. 4 times 2 is 8. Misconception. Never on a single basis. Never do this. 4 times 7, 28. 2 times 4, 8. You will be wrong. That is the conception. You will be totally wrong. Okay, so let's continue on example 3. Let's go to example 3. We have x is by 3 multiply 4. So by the power of 4. So we have the same thing as is by 3 multiplied by x is by 3 multiplied by x is by 3 multiplied by x is by 3. So which is s 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equal to s is power 12. So better still s is power 3, 3 times 4, s is power 12. Okay. One more example on a single number is we have y is power 4 multiplied by 5. So this one will not expand again, since we now understand how to expand. So 4 times 5, y is power 20. Just go straight to the answer, y is power 20. Okay. Now, base with coefficient greater than 1. So in this place, the coefficient is 1. If you are not aware, coefficient is 1. So when you multiply, it still gives us 1. The coefficient is 1. But right now, we are moving into base with the coefficient greater than 1. So base with coefficient greater than 1. Base with coefficients greater than 1. What do we do when the base of the coefficient is greater than 1? I'll give you some examples. Example 5. Let's still continue with the examples. Example 5, we have 4 y raised to power 2 raised to power 3. Don't forget the principle. Raise the 10 inside the bracket by the power outside the bracket. Don't forget the principle. Raise the 10 inside the brackets by the power outside the brackets. Don't forget this under log 3. Raise the 10 inside the bracket by the power outside the bracket. So this is the power outside the bracket, and these are the terms inside the bracket. Okay. Now, what do we do? This is 4 raised to power 3 multiply by y 2 times 3 based on the single number base. So we are having 4 raised to power 3 is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64 multiplied by y raised to power 6. So final answer gives us 64 y raised to power 6. Simple. Example 6, we have a question that says 3a raised to power 5, 2 raised to power 2. So now we are having this 3a raised to power 5 terms in the bracket and terms outside the bracket. So what do we do? This is 3 raised to power 2 multiplied by a raised to power 5 times 2. So we're having 3 times 3, 9, multiplied by a raised to power 10. So final answer 9a raised to power 10. Okay. These are terms greater than 1. Let me give us one more example. Example 7. 4a raised to 6 10 to the bracket, 10 outside the bracket. So give us what? 4 raised to 2 multiplied by a 6 times 2. So we're having 4 times 4, 64. 4 times 4, 16. Times a 6 times 2, 12. So 16a raised to power 12. Now, that is all about Law 3, which deals with bracket with indices. We're going to give us some questions on our GCSE and WAEC question that you may likely encounter or see. Simplify the following. One, bracket 3p raised by 3q raised by 4 raised by 2. Let's do this. Number 1. What do we have here? 3p raised by 3q raised by 4 times to the bracket, times outside the bracket. What do? 3 raised by 2, then p 3 times 2, q 4 times 2. So we are having 3 times 3, 9, p 3 times 2, 6, q 4 times 2, 8. Final answer. Example 2. 7s raised to power 7sy raised to power 4 brackets 2. So what do we have? 7 raised to power 2 s which is 1 times 2, the same thing as 2, and then y 4 times 2. So we are having 7 times 7, 49, s to the power 2, then y raised to power 8. Final answer. That will be all for now. If you like this teaching, subscribe, share, like, and tell somebody about this. God bless.